Here we go. What is going on, ladies? This is Marciea here with another episode of the LadyStrong Fitness. And today I'm sitting down with LSF member Aces. Her and I are going to be talking about her journey throughout the 6-week challenge. Aces, how are you today?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And first and foremost, I know a little bit about who you are. You and I had a sidebar conversation prior to this episode airing, and I also had the opportunity to read more about you through your bio. But for those of you that do not know you, please tell a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I am a counselor. I've been a counselor for, mental health, by the way, mental health counselor for about going on 9 years.
Oh, wow.
So it's been something I am extremely passionate about. I absolutely love. I am engaged, soon to be married in November, which is very, very exciting.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And I'm a big family person.
Okay.
Huge family person. That's pretty much me. That like sums me up. Oh, and I love food. I love
Who doesn't love food? Is there food in particular? Just curious what's your favorite go-to?
Oh my God, I love Thai food. That's like
good choice.
That's right up there. But I also love Puerto Rican food. I'm Puerto Rican, so that's definitely something that I enjoy too.
Okay, that's fair. Very cool. We'll talk about the nutritional side here shortly, but the first thing I want to talk about is how did you seem to come about LadyStrong Fitness and why did you decide to join?
Okay, so believe it or not, I was talking to I think one of my cousins. I was talking about just like wanting to get back into the gym, and not that I have a history in gyms, because I really don't. Like, the closest I really ever got was working at a gym when I was 17. But outside of that, I've never really been like the workout. I've just kind of naturally been slender thanks to my dad's genes. So thank you, Dad. But I have been wanting to kind of get things back in order, just like feel better about myself, get some confidence, and of course, lose some weight. So in talking about my cousin, our phones are always listening. Sorry, the little conspiracy theorist in me has to come out every once in a while. But I was listening to a few different podcasts and things on Instagram, and I end up getting an Instagram post that I saw Jessica, and I'm not entirely sure who the other person is, but I saw Jessica talking with someone else about like, hey, Schaumburg ladies, we're looking for a certain number of people. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to try it. And at first I thought it was a scam, not gonna lie. I thought it was a scam because I got I got a message and I was just like, wait, I'm not entirely sure if this is real or not. And then I got a phone call from Jess, who was absolutely amazing. And she was just like, come on, we'll try it. Well, and it was a Thursday. And it was actually, there was a huge storm that day. And she was like, well, hopefully tomorrow is a better day and we'll see you first thing in the morning. I was like, let's go for the early bird class, because that way I know like I need to get it out the way. Yeah. And I went and I absolutely loved it. And it was the best decision I've made in a very long time.
I have to ask you, for those of the ladies that are listening in today, were you nervous at all?
Oh my God, yes.
Why were you nervous? Was it the unknown? Was it that you think that your fitness level wasn't going to be up to standards? What was it? Spill the beans.
All of the above.
Okay.
I wasn't entirely sure what to expect. I've never really done the group setting before. So I wasn't sure what that the environment was going to feel like. I wasn't sure. A lot of comparison, like worried that I wasn't going to be up to par, or like, that I was just going to be doing absolutely everything wrong. Or everybody was going to be staring at you, like a lot of that kind of stuff. But thankfully that wasn't necessarily my experience. I mean, there is, a lot of me, that's just a me thing. I'm very critical of myself, and I'm very much a perfectionist. So when I don't do things well the first time, I'm kind of like, I'll beat myself up about it, but I try very hard. And I had a great experience. I had Kaylee for the first day and she was great. Tough, very, very tough, but it was good. It was a great experience, and it wasn't bad. The ladies who are working out around me were very friendly and very helpful. So it was great. It was a great experience.
Thank you for sharing that, because I know some people, they have a tendency to not come in because they have those similar feelings, such as yourself. So I'm glad that you shared that it wasn't as bad as what you had anticipated. I guess my question for you, you said tough. What exactly made it tough? Because tough to me could be different to you. So for someone that's listening in, What was tough?
Um, well, so the day that I went in, I'm pretty sure it was like a cardio day. So it was like a mix of like some strength and cardio.
Okay.
And I hate burpees. That is one of like that's, oh my gosh, I hate burpees. And we did a lot of them that day. We did a
Okay.
lot of them that day. And so it was very much not like my favorite thing, but that was tough about it. So I had to push myself to really try
Okay.
to meet the standards, you know, like, and it was more so a me thing. It was more so like pushing myself to make sure that I was getting the most out of it. Cause you could
Sure.
very well like go and show up and do the bare minimum. And I mean, you got to work on it, but that's not what I wanted. That's not the goal that I set for myself. So I really tried to push myself as far as I could. And granted, there was like that little voice in my head, like, hey, I wonder if anybody's looking at me kind of thing. But it was tough to kind of balance the mental kind of like that comparison voice
Sure.
that comes up sometimes, and like really wanting to push myself and prove to myself that I needed to get a good workout in and that I wanted it
I love
badly.
that. I love that. That's fair. So, lo and behold, after that whole experience with your complimentary session, you decided to join the 6-week program and you received phenomenal results. You talked about your goal, which I want to tap into a little bit. Did you have a particular, goal in mind once you joined, or was it just you were just trusting the process, or what was it for you?
Well, I knew that it wasn't going to be, my goal was not going to be hit at the end of the 6 weeks. I was very, very clear on that. But I wanted to see change. And that was pretty much the biggest thing I wanted to. Consistency is not a strength of mine all the time, especially when it comes to working out. I tend to like give it my all for a short period of time and then kind of back out a little bit. And so this time around, I really tried to push myself, and I went and I started, sorry.
No, you're good.
I apologize. I started going 3 times a week, and
Yep.
then I bumped that up to 4 times a week, and I was going very consistently, never missed a class. And then I shifted from the 6:30 a.m. class to the 5 a.m. class, which in and of itself had amazing benefits too, because it was nice to get it out done first thing in the morning, and then I felt like very productive for the rest of my day. So it was
Yeah,
great.
I love that.
Um, yeah, it was really good. And then so that was the consistency was definitely a huge thing. And then the other thing was really wanting to see change in my habits. And so part of working with Haley, which has been great, is she was like, you don't eat enough. And I'm like, I thought I ate plenty. And she's like, yeah, you don't eat enough. And so it was nice to kind of have that accountability and her like look over my meals and kind of encourage me where I could be encouraged and correct where I could be corrected.
Yeah.
Which is not always an easy thing to be on the receiving end of, but it was great. It was very good to have some accountability and have some support. And whenever I had questions or I needed suggestions about like what meals I could do or how I can up the amount of protein, she was really great about helping me and giving me some of those suggestions, or taking a few minutes after class to just kind of talk to me if I was feeling like I hit a little bit of a lull. Like, she was great. And it
Love
was
that.
overall a very, very good experience.
That makes me so happy to hear. And you said something that you thought you were eating enough and you weren't, but isn't it rewarding to hear to eat more and you're still able to get results?
Yes, it's crazy. And
Yeah.
it's still something I'm working on, because I still, to this day, I am not great at eating the way that maybe I should be. I've
Sure.
made a lot of progress, and I think that ultimately that's what it's about.
100%. And we all know change doesn't happen overnight. It takes time.
Mhm.
Like you said, it's just creating and developing that habit. But in the 6 weeks, you managed to lose 7 pounds. So congratulations. That's huge. That's like 1.25 pounds per week. And I can only imagine if you maintain consistency, if you manage to do that in 6 weeks, I'm really excited for your future to see what the next 6, 12 weeks is even like, because you managed to make a lot of progress in such a short span of time. And
Mhm.
since the 6 weeks, you managed to join the semi-private training
Mhm.
with Coach Haley. So how is that going? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, I only had my second class today, which was great.
Yep.
It's different because
Yep.
it's a lot more like strength based rather than kind of the mix of cardio. So a part of me does kind of miss the um the intensity
Sure.
of the kind of cardio mix with the strength training and body weight. So
Yep.
like there's like a little part of me that's like, man, I kind of miss that a little bit. But I have noticed that it's been really good to kind of get basic movements,
Yep.
like kind
Yep.
of more, it's more basic, and be able to challenge myself, to go from, 5 to 10 pounds or 20 to 25 pounds, like those little changes have been really great. And I mean, it's only been my second day, which has been very cool.
I love that. I think the biggest for me personally, and I'm just speaking based upon the people I've worked with, and I hear what they like about the semi-private is getting that one-on-one undivided attention as opposed to the group classes. And like you mentioned, being able to work on proper mechanics and movements for each exercise. But we would definitely have to do a follow-up interview to see like how your progress is going. But if you had to recommend for anybody that's maybe on the fence about either joining LadyStrong, joining the 6-week challenge, or joining the semi-private, what would be your advice for them?
Like which program I would recommend right now?
Not necessarily which program you recommend, but anybody that's just on the fence in general about getting up and going and doing something, regardless of what that may be. Maybe they started out like you, they didn't really do a whole lot. Would you recommend LadyStrong, and if so, why?
Oh yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I think I look at it as an investment. It doesn't have to be a long-term, a forever thing, but it's something it's like a jump start. Sometimes you just need the refresh. Sometimes you need a little bit of a boost. And I have found that my time with LadyStrong has been really great. It's been helpful for me to notice those small changes, or even for the people around me to notice the small changes. And it's just the beginning. So I'm very excited.
I like that. I'm excited for you. So you mentioned something as well with you being almost a newlywed, so to speak, that your future may lie where you want kids someday. And so I'm excited about that for you. So again, I think we're definitely going to have to do a follow-up interview like in the next year or so to see where does ACES stand. But overall, I'm super appreciative of you being able to come on here and share your story today. And congratulations, by the way. I failed to mention, if you guys didn't know, that she was nominated as August member of the month. So congratulations for that as well. That's a huge accomplishment in itself, considering we have over 250 members inside of our community. But ACES, do you have any advice for anyone whatsoever, regardless if they're a member or a non-member, maybe they've plateaued or whatever the case may be, like what would be your advice to them?
So 2 things. The first thing is I would just take the investment, just try for a little bit if you need a little bit of a reboot. The other thing is that I have found that every coach that I've worked with has been really great about providing some additional support. So if I've had questions, even if it was during class, like where I don't understand something or I'm feeling a little bit of pain, I just pull them aside, ask them a question, and they have all been very responsive and supportive. And so just try.
I like that.
That's what I would advise them.
Best advice ever. You never know. You don't know what you don't know, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Very cool. Well, again, I appreciate you for coming here. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but ladies, I appreciate you as well for tuning in of another episode of LadyStrong Fitcast. Have an amazing day, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.